In this week's at-home yoga video, we'll be going over flexible spine poses. Before beginning this yoga sequence, begin with some stretching and a few minutes of meditation. On our YouTube channel, in our at-home yoga playlist, you can find two videos, one that goes over meditation and another one that goes over light stretching. Remember to listen to your body, connecting your breath to your movements at a pace that works for you. Mountain pose. Begin by standing at the front of your mat with your legs hip-width apart and the soles of your feet planted on the mat. Have your shoulders back and your arms at your sides with your gaze forward. Raised arms pose. From mountain pose, bring your palms together in front of your chest and then fully extend your arms upwards, following your gaze there as well. Raised arms pose variation. Remain in raised arms pose for this variation pose. With your arms still extended upwards, gently stretch from your right side to your left side. Camel pose. From raised arms pose, gently lower yourself to the mat so that your knees are on the mat, hip-width apart. Begin by placing your hands either on the lower back or on the backs of the feet as you lean back slightly, holding your gaze upwards. Forward bend. From camel pose, slowly lean forward, coming out of the pose. Stand up on the mat and have your upper body bent forward at the hips, bringing your chest as close to your knees as you can. You can have your hands rest on your shins, ankles, or on the mat beside you. Raised arms pose. From forward bend, slowly unfold, standing upwards again in mountain pose. Bring your palms together in front of your chest, then upwards with your gaze following. Downward facing dog. From raised arms pose, fall forward at the hips and bring the palms down to the mat. Keep the arms extended and your feet firmly on the mat as you try to push your heels to the mat. Remember, do not lock the knees. Extended side angle pose. From downward facing dog, bring one leg forward to the front of the mat and keep that knee bent at 90 degrees. Your back foot should be parallel to the back of your mat. Lower the same arm as the front foot to the mat, placing the palm down on the inside of the foot. Your other arm should be extended upwards and your gaze should be held upwards at that hand. Pigeon pose. From extended side angle pose, you are going to lower both hands and your front knee to the mat so that it is now pointing forward and your back leg is extended straight backwards. Then, sit up using your hands as support on your sides with your gaze forward. Plank pose. From pigeon pose, lean forward a bit to bring the front leg out of its position and backwards. Then bring your hands down to the mat, slowly extending your arms and push the palms into the mat. Make sure that the body is in a straight line. This pose can be modified with the arms fully extended or on the forearms and can be modified further by holding the pose on your knees as well. Cobra pose. From plank pose, lower your hips to the mat while keeping your palms on the mat. Hold up your chest and keep your gaze forward. Child's pose. From cobra pose, gently sit back on your feet, bring your forehead to the mat and extend your arms forward with your palms on the mat. Now I'm just going to repeat this entire sequence from downward facing dog, making sure to switch to the other side. Head to knee pose. From child's pose, gently unfold so that you are sitting on your mat with one leg extended forward and the other leg bent at the knee with the sole of your foot touching your inner thigh. Reach up and gently fold forward, stretching to touch either your foot or the side of the mat. Now we're just going to repeat that pose to the other side. To close this sequence, lie down flat on your back in Shavasana, corpse pose, for a few moments, then roll onto your side and slowly sit up. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope to see you soon. Namaste.